It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 5th of December. I'm Michael Groff. After a rather chilly start to the day today, temperatures this afternoon pretty close to seasonal averages. We'll begin a warming trend this weekend that will continue into next week. Daytime highs not only going above average, but we could be flirting with record highs by late next week and perhaps that following weekend as well. How warm will it get? How long will it last? When might we actually have some more rain chances around here? We'll talk about that. Speaking of, we'll get you a drought update as well. The latest drought monitor has been released. There's a lot to talk about, but first, today's video is brought to you by On Demand Power, your local certified Generac technician specializing in generator maintenance, repair, and inspection to keep your home running when the grid fails. Visit them online at ondemandpwr.com. It is Friday, folks, and that means it's Photo Friday, and that's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. And first up, David Parnell. That's the dude that took this picture. Last Saturday was the time and the place, Harrison High School. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but David says it was a nice day, temperatures in the 60s. Now, I believe the sports this time were indoors, though. Basketball tournament was going on there, according to David. But regardless, hey, if you have any outdoor activities this weekend, it will be similar with highs up in the 60s and 70s here in the lower deserts. So it should be absolutely beautiful, of course, as it almost always is this time of the year. All right. Then we head out of state. We head up north, Big Sky Country, Montana, Buck up there. And he says the snow has returned. Yes, more snow across Montana. And, you know, listen, we like snow here in Phoenix because it's a novelty thing. We don't see it very often at all. The last time Phoenix has actually recorded measurable snow officially, you have to go all the way back 35 years ago to 1990. But we do occasionally see it around the valley. But again, it's a novelty up there. It's not. It's just a regular part of winter. And shoveling snow, no fun. Slipping on snow, slipping on ice, no fun. But we can admire it. It does feel festive enough, doesn't it? Tis the season after all, right? All right, then we go to Doug. This is Camp Verde and a sunset from the other night. Very nice. This is our cat, Freya. Freya. No, this isn't really weather related. This is Freya. She likes to watch her birds. She watches a lot of birds and squirrels and various other things. Freya has probably a little bit too much screen time, I think, between the phone. That's my tablet. I believe she's watching. Well, actually, that might be. Yeah, she's watching the tablet, the laptop. She's very busy, and that's our cat, Freya, our little chaos demon. So, of course, we love Freya. I thought she was actually going to jump up on my shoulder here. She's just roaming around the studio right now, as a matter of fact. Then the one and only Michelle sends in this picture. This is, from a few weeks back, I believe, one of the storms that was looming, close to us here, over by Studio B. Then this is a picture from Martha the other night. They had a little shower come through near Tucson, and then as that shower was kind of moving out, there's the moon, the full moon. And these are from Michael, and Michael is actually our guy, our certified Generac technician, whom I forgot to do his ad yesterday, so I'm going to give him another plug while I do this right now. The fine folks over there at On Demand Power. And that's who took this picture. Actually, several of these pictures near Roosevelt Dam, Roosevelt Lake, and out in the desert. And again, On Demand Power, they do sponsor this video. And of course, supporting our sponsors does support us. And I can't believe I forgot to put the ad in there yesterday. So he gets bonus time here today for sure. But again, beautiful pictures too. So not only is he a certified Generac technician, he's also a very nice piece, a very nice addition to Photo Friday. And we do appreciate all these photos. And this is from Miles Sampson, picture of his plants. See, gardens are growing, plants are still going. In our backyard here, yeah, we still have the mint going on. We still have the canna lily. We've got our Mexican heathers. We've got the vincas. We got all the plants. They're still going out there because the weather is beautiful. Here's a nice shot. This is from Rita, our friend Rita. Actually, I believe Georgia, her daughter, took this picture. This is on I-10 going toward I-17 the other morning. And then I don't know who sent this. There's not a name on it. I'm not going to give out the guy's email address, but this is from one of our viewers, a picture from last week, Thanksgiving sunset. And that is very nice as well. All right, folks, that's it. Photo Friday. You want to submit your photos or videos? People ask us all the time, and how you do it is you send them to my email address, groffshow@gmail.com. That's the email address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. All right, let's get into it. The almanac from yesterday. 66 degrees was the afternoon high officially in Phoenix after a morning low of 47. 68 and 47 are the averages for this time of year, so pretty close to where we ought to be. And 83, that record high. Luckily, we were nowhere near that, but we might be getting closer to that later on in this forecast. Stick around for that. Outside right now here at 11:30 a.m. The sun is shining, sunny sky out there. Oh yeah, 59 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points 30, humidity 33%. The wind's light, the barometer falling. Satellite picture out here across the west. We put this in motion, and across Arizona right now, it's pretty much a case of severe clear. All the clouds from that weather system the other day, they have all moved on out of here. I guess there's a couple of high clouds passing by parts of northern Arizona, but for the most part, sunny sky will be with us, and that's going to continue for the foreseeable future. High pressure will be building in. The main storm track is going to stay far away from us, and if this doesn't look like what you would typically see in a La Nina winter, I don't know what does. The watch warning map. Well, to the north of us, yeah, you'll find snow. We got winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings for our friend Buck up there in Montana. More snow on the way for you. The Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. Could see some snowflakes flying up there, as well as over parts of South Dakota, southwest Minnesota, Iowa. The Northeast, I know. AccuWeather told us there was going to be just this major winter storm all the way from northern Alabama all the way up to Maine. But yeah, there's been some snowflakes. True, but not nearly the absolute blizzard, the complete whiteout that was foretold there. We've had some fun at their expense, as we should. But other than that, yes, some snowflakes. Of course, it is December after all. You do expect to see some lake effect snows and some inclement weather over parts of the Northeast. And it's going to be cold. In fact, record cold temperatures in some spots have been going on and continue. From the northern plains to the Great Lakes, the Northeast, it is just frigid. While we are sitting down here with a warming trend. I wonder why over 5 million people live in the greater Phoenix metro area. It's a mystery. All right, convective outlook for today. No organized areas of severe weather expected across the nation. Here is the latest drought monitor here across Arizona. And yes, the drought conditions have subsided somewhat over parts of the state. Now, there's actually some parts that are just back down to the abnormally dry or even in the clear, not in a drought status at all. But we still have moderate to severe drought over a fair portion of Arizona, even extreme drought over parts of far eastern Arizona. And whenever we show this graphic, people ask, wait a minute, Mike, we just had the wettest meteorological fall on record in Phoenix, 6.31 inches, and some spots around the state had a ton of rain this fall. How are we still in drought status? Well, again, you will notice that a lot of that we've put a serious dent in the drought over parts of the rim country, central Arizona and parts of northern Arizona. However, one wet season does not make up for several decades of largely below average precipitation. But it's not just that. It's also the fact that we have increased water demand from our metro areas now, ever increasing water demand. We have seen a substantial decrease in the water allocated to Arizona from the Colorado River. And the biggest part of this is that the groundwater supplies have continued to dwindle. And the people that feel that the most are agriculturalists down there, the ranchers across especially eastern Arizona, parts of New Mexico and West Texas. They will tell you they rely heavily on that groundwater supply. Yes, if you go around the state, the surface water supply, the lakes, the rivers, the streams in Arizona, they look pretty good. This is not a situation where you're going to run out of drinking water. We don't want to catastrophize this, but we do want to make a note that there is still a substantial deficit of groundwater supplies. The aquifers are certainly depleted over parts of far eastern and southeast Arizona, New Mexico, West Texas, people that have wells there. And like I mentioned, the ranchers, the agricultural folks, they will tell you all about that. But there has been some improvement. Now, unfortunately, with very dry weather expected for the next couple of weeks and probably for the rest of December, this is going to get worse over parts of the state. We're going to see drought conditions sort of start to reappear and worsen again over Arizona. So do keep that in mind. All right, with that being said, here's the precipitation outlook, valid through next Friday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, nothing. Region-wide, basically nothing. So that's not going to help out any drought conditions anytime soon. What's going on with this weather pattern? Well, to figure that out in more detail, when might we actually see some precipitation? We'll take a look at the models right now, see what the future may hold. Here we go. It's the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at about 500 millibars, 18,000 feet up. And yeah, very active weather, of course, across Canada and the northern tier of the United States, the northern half of North America. That's where it's all going. But down here in the southwest, high pressure is going to start to gradually build in. Those upper heights are going to rise. So what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today with that dry west-northwesterly flow, it is sunny and mild this afternoon. Seasonal temperatures, highs in the mid-60s. The average high in Phoenix, 68 degrees, will be maybe a couple of degrees below that, but basically where we ought to be for this time of the year. Now, tonight, clear sky with relatively dry air. It'll be cool. Lows will dip down in the upper 30s in the cold spots, low to mid-40s elsewhere. Tomorrow, more of the same, really. Highs mid to upper 60s, sunny sky, dry air over the mountains, highs 40s and 50s, just a beautiful day. Now, we're going to see a continued warming trend as we go to Sunday. Highs in Phoenix, likely in the low 70s. Monday, we're sunny, highs low to mid 70s. We'll continue to see a warming trend statewide. Here's Tuesday, mid 70s are likely. The sky's sunny, the air dry. Plenty of rain and snow over the Pacific Northwest. Well, to the north of Arizona, the storm track will remain. Wednesday, highs mid to maybe upper 70s for the warmest desert spots. Here's Thursday. We could see some of the warmest desert spots flirting with 80 degrees. Even here in Phoenix, highs somewhere between about 74 to 78. So it's going to be quite warm relative for this time of year across much of the Southwest, including here in Arizona. Let's keep it going a week from today. This is Friday the 12th, and high pressure remains as the dominant feature more or less out here across the west. And with a dry northwesterly flow, we don't see any changes in the overall weather pattern. High temperatures will likely stay at least in the mid, possibly upper 70s. Even a day or two, we get a little warmer than that. This is Saturday the 13th. And upper heights here over the southwest will continue to stay anywhere from 578 to 582 decameters. And if that is indeed correct, temperatures will remain well above seasonal averages, with highs still somewhere from the mid-70s to the low 80s. And some spots will no doubt challenge some records here. And even our mountains will see high temperatures well up in the 50s and 60s. So it's going to be quite warm. End of the forecast period. This is Sunday the 14th. High pressure remains firmly in control here over the southwest. In fact, most of the western United States and even up in western Canada. And we see a blocking pattern emerging. Look at that big trough out there in the Pacific. Got another one for the eastern portion of Canada, the northeast. Again, cold weather will be prominent across the Great Lakes in the northeast. But as is often the case in this La Nina, we are dry. So no relief in sight. And no sign of any precipitation in sight, at least for the next 10 days. And let's keep going. This is precipitation for Phoenix going out through the 19th of December off the GFS Ensemble. There's 31 members here. And basically, well, the ensemble mean is well under a tenth of an inch. It's the same story from the European Ensemble, 51 members, and not many of them show any precipitation around here. The ensemble mean under a tenth of an inch. Euro AI Ensemble, it's essentially the same thing. Dry as a bone here. Well below average precipitation all the way out through at least or very close to the winter solstice. And I will say probably well beyond that. All right, looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. Yeah, the trend is obviously up. And you can see there's a couple of days where the NBM is printing out a high temperature of 80 degrees in Phoenix. Now, keep in mind, 80 degrees is not unheard of in December, but it is unusual. And there are certainly days where we have never hit 80 degrees in Phoenix during the month of December. There's a few of those days where record highs are 77, 78, 79 degrees. So we will be challenging some records on a couple of days if this verifies. And keeping in line with this, looking at the CPC outlook for the 8 to 14 day period, December 12th to the 18th, if this is correct, probability heavily skewed toward above average temperatures. Again, not just here in Arizona, but across much of the West and extending into the southern plains states, southern and central plains states. And precipitation accordingly is heavily skewed toward below average. Again, here across the Southwest and into the southern plains states, above average precipitation, though, across the Pacific Northwest, as we would expect, again, in a typical La Nina setup. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions if you really enjoy these videos and you want to help us out. Well, by all means, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make that monetary contribution to us, just like Barbara did this morning. And our PayPal is linked up down there below, too. It's a groffshow@gmail.com. That's our PayPal address, groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo is also linked up down below. But even if you can't do that, liking, subscribing, sharing, clicking, just all the engagement stuff that YouTube has for you, hyping our video, all of that does help us out. And now we're even putting out some shorts content here and there. We'll be doing some shorts. All of that helps us out. Freya is on my desk now. So hello, Freya. Appreciate you. Jeez. All right. She is back behind the computers, back behind the monitors. And, she's helping out. She is helping out. All right. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather. The executive producers of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. They are as follows: Freya Cat and my OAO, the sweetest of all time. I told them. My OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, kindly related, Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description below. Feel free to check that out. Our streaming station, it is again working once more. We've resolved the technical issues there. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun over there. So again, give that a listen if you would be so kind. And check out Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files on YouTube, or courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. 'Tis the season after all. What better way to show your appreciation for those loved ones than to get them some Courtroom Files stuff? I say that because I don't have any merch. If I did, I'd be plugging my merch. But instead, I want to help Dan out. Dan has helped us out this year, and so he supports us. You support him. Support our sponsors as well. Once again, I will say it. I always correct my mistakes whenever I screw up. It's one of those things about being accountable. Not just in the weather world, but as a human being, you should always take accountability for whenever you do something wrong. And that's why I tell you to support our sponsors, because sometimes I make mistakes and I do the ads. So yes, on-demand power. On-demand, PWR.com, your local certified Generac technician. And Michael does a great job over there and also contributes to Photo Friday. He's also a fan of this channel. So again, there's lots of reasons to support him, support Dan, support everybody. We should all be supporting each other. That 'tis the season, kumbaya, holding hands, and all of that. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. You guys are amazing. So appreciate each and every one of you, all that you guys do to help us out. I want you to be safe, though. Please, you guys have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.